Did you know that here in China, it's completely normal to see job ads that state, word for word, ages 20 to 35 only? As a foreigner looking for a job for more than 2 years, I am experiencing this firsthand. I'll break it down in detail in this video, and at the end, I'll bring you the story of another person who is going through something similar, but from an angle you might not expect. Tonight starts off a bit differently because today is the day I'm going to do one of the things I love most: play ping pong or table tennis. I like doing it here in China, where it's considered the national sport. When I was in school in Bogota, I played ping pong and dropped it, only to take it back up 30 years later. Hi, I'm Chile, an unemployed dad, freelance designer, which means I get sporadic work, but nothing fixed. No vacation, no benefits, nothing. And I've been playing ping pong for over 4 years here in China. And here on the way, as we've talked about before, you can really tell that mobile data consumption, especially for video and video calls, has increased a lot. And for the same reason I mentioned before, prices in the last 2 years have dropped immensely to always stay connected. And while walking, I also ran into this mini tricycle carrying an impressive amount of weight. And this isn't all you see on the streets of Shanghai. Is it normal in your country to see these kinds of improvised vehicles carrying everything down the street? It's around 7 p.m. now, the time my wife gets home from work to be with my daughter, so I can go play ping pong. And it's still insanely hot, even though it's already night. Well, I've arrived at this place where I practice. It's called Xuperman, which is a ping pong cafe. The owner is one of the best ping pong players in Chinese history. His name is Xuxin. Xuxin is a legend in Chinese table tennis, a world champion with medals at the Olympic level and in international championships. As I understand it, this club is considered one of the main ones in Shanghai, and Xuxin still continues competing in national tournaments.
What's wrong with you?
Sorry.
What have you done to you?
This place has been open for a little over a year, and this is its second location. The place isn't very big, and I've been playing here for over 4 years at this club that was founded by foreigners and at first was mainly focused on expats, although in the last 2 years most of the members have become Chinese locals. The level of ping pong in China in general is very good, as you can imagine. As you can see, this place is very cozy. Besides the tables, they also sell t-shirts and coffee, which is one of their strong points as a business. During these years, I've been at the club. At first, there were many more foreigners, but with COVID, and especially after the lockdown, the confinement we lived through here in Shanghai, many foreigners ended up leaving the country. That was also felt in the mix of people at this club. It's interesting to see that change over time. A club that started out almost exclusively for expats and today is mostly Chinese. It's almost a little barometer of what happened to the expat community in Shanghai after those difficult years. And you guys, do you play any sport that's considered the national sport in your country? Tell me in the comments, I'm curious to compare. Well, and after warming up a bit, I start my match, just like I always do. Usually, we play for about 2 hours, from 7 to 9 p.m. But I only manage to play 2 matches, 3 if I'm lucky. Most of the time, I arrive later, around 7:30, because, as I said before, I wait for my wife to get home before heading out. That's why I'm always late to this weekly practice. This time, I didn't win a single match. The level here is very good, and in the end, I couldn't win even once. And this club also organizes tournaments sporadically. In fact, this weekend we have an internal tournament, which of course I'm going to attend. Alright, I'm all done here now. Every night when I finish my ping pong training, I usually go to this Aldi, the German supermarket located right across from Xuperman. It's funny how Aldi, which back in Europe is synonymous with discounts and a simple supermarket, here in China is positioned almost like a gourmet store, with imported products that aren't as easily found in local supermarkets. And here, as usual, I buy an orange juice, and I also buy bread for breakfast. And as always, as I've shown several times in my videos, I pay for everything with my watch. Now, with the stuff for breakfast in hand, I'm finally heading home. On the way, I think about something that happened this week. I had a job interview. Well, it wasn't an interview exactly. It was a call with a headhunter who reached out to me on LinkedIn. Because, as you already know, I've been looking for work for over 2 years, and quite a few interviews have come up in that time. In the end, I always get my hopes up. Every time, I think this will be the time that something comes through, but they always tell me the same thing, that I'm overqualified for the position I'm applying for. It's a phrase I already know by heart, overqualified. Sometimes I think it's a polite way of saying something else, but I prefer not to speculate too much and just keep applying. As I walk, I look at the local businesses in my neighborhood. People here in China work a lot. Sometimes they work super long shifts in the street, working all night, but they're so efficient that in less than a night, they've already finished what they had to do. There's also this electric scooter designated driver business. No joke. It works like this. If someone has a car, is driving, and has had a few drinks, they contact an app, and a person arrives to drive their car and take them home. Usually, that person arrives on an electric scooter or bike, puts it in the trunk of the car, and can drive for you if you've been drinking or are indisposed. It seems like a perfect example to me of how here in China there's an app or a service for practically any daily need. It's that mindset of solving specific problems with super targeted solutions and doing it on a massive scale. Is there anything similar to a designated driver service in your country? Here it's a giant business, and it seems like a pretty smart solution to me. And here comes the part I want to talk to you about more calmly: age discrimination. I recently saw a video by a Chinese YouTuber who said that after age 35, you become almost obsolete in the job market unless you're already in a high position. Getting something below that level becomes almost impossible. And honestly, I think that's exactly what's happening to me. That age discrimination she was talking about, I think I'm experiencing it firsthand. But either way, I'm not getting discouraged. Especially now that I'm making these videos, I've received really nice comments, messages of encouragement, people telling me not to lose faith. Even my family started watching these videos, and even though I didn't ask them to share them, Knowing that they're out there listening already means a lot to me. I think that's one of the effects I least expected from this channel. Not just documenting my day-to-day life, but also feeling that there are people on the other side of the screen who understand what I'm going through and who let me know. I want to tell you about something I saw in the video of this Chinese YouTuber that gave me food for thought. She is 36 years old, lives alone in a small rented room in what is known in China as an urban village, neighborhoods inside large cities with low rent, but very dense and popular among newcomers or people on tight budgets. She was saying that job ads here literally pose an age range from 20 to 35 years old. If you're 36, they won't even review your resume, even if the job is simple, low wage, and low demand. It doesn't matter. If you pass the limit, you're out. What resonated with me most was how she closed her reflection, acknowledging that nobody really knows what's going to happen in the future. So maybe the only thing she can do is stop worrying about what hasn't happened yet and take life one day at a time, do what she can, rest when she needs to, and let go of what isn't in her hands to control. And I think that even though her situation and mine are different, she a 36-year-old single Chinese woman, me a foreign dad in a bicultural family looking for work, in the end, the anxiety over age is the same. It's that feeling that the clock runs differently for you than for others, and that there's an invisible deadline that society decided for us. And if you're interested in seeing the story of this Chinese YouTuber, I'll leave the link to the video in the description. And do you feel that in your country there's also that pressure regarding age, whether in employment or socially? I'd love to read your experiences in the comments. Well, and that's all for today. And I'm already getting home. And if you want to follow this Chino Rolo in the adventures of a bicultural Colombian Chinese family, subscribe, give it a like, and share this video. See you in the next one.